RJ, it's crazy. The whole
It sounds.
story, and
It
then
sounds.
and then the police came. So listen to this one. The police
Yeah.
came. She told the story about being raped. The news lawsuits are surrounding are about a couple of people that are alleging that Diddy was fondling upon them, a personal trainer and oh, a underage girl. Let's look at it. Let's jump right into it, man. Fair use.
That in 2022, at an after party on the night of the BET Awards, Diddy spiked his drink, sexually assaulted him, and then later he claims that his drugged body was passed around like a party favor for sexual enjoyment.
I love y'all. Peace.
In another filing, a woman claims Diddy raped her after she met him at a party attended by Mary J. Blige, Lil' Kim, and Nicki Minaj in Las Vegas. To be clear, the stars are not accused of any wrongdoing. The alleged victim claims she woke up groggy and sore and, quote, was horrified to realize that she was raped by Combs. Diddy has denied all the allegations.
Yeah, so this is what these are alleging. Basically, grapes and people that took what they say spiked drinks, and before they knew it, they were groggy and couldn't tell left from right or anything else. Who was doing what? They blacked out, as they say. The crazy part of these stories is that a 13-year-old says that she went to these parties, these award shows, MTV award show in the 2000s, 2001 if I'm not mistaken, VMAs 2000 in the 2000s, and she went to a after party, and from that the whole story seems like a James Bond episode, James Bond movie, where she found out she felt ill, and then she ran away from the party and asked her dad to pick her up at the fuel station, gas station. So I don't know, RJ. I mean, we talked about these stories. The stories all seem to have a certain pattern, but these patterns these allegations, the way these patterns have been set up, kind of sound like stories we've heard before, but then added with other details. Maybe I could be wrong, maybe I could be right. What do you think?
The problem is that, raping usually happens in more or less the same way, right? So there are a couple of ways that it can happen.
Yeah.
For you to do it against someone's will, either you overpower that person by force, which can be physical force. You can, so in this case, physical force. You can overpower the person by leverage. So you have something over that person, and you'll say, if you don't do this, then this will happen to you. Or you do it by substance, where you put the person to sleep and then do whatever you want with that person.
Yeah.
So to that extent, it sounds the same. That can mean that it is a pattern, or it can also mean that it's something that people are making up right now to also jump in the Diddy story and to get some. But it's not uncommon for instances like this, where someone is being accused of something, that more people jump out of nowhere to also claim, whatever it is that they're claiming.
The interesting part of this, it seems like, and I'm going back to the part with about the personal trainer. This is a part of that. Let me see where I can find it. Here it is. So this is a excerpt of that complaint. You see here, he took a picture of the people there. All the faces are, let's say, blocked. One can also say maybe these faces are blocked, so you can send them a letter and ask them to pay certain amount. At a certain point, the money will be. Diddy won't have enough money to cover all these lawsuits. So he's gonna file for bankruptcy at a certain point. The question is, can he hold these off until he fights off his criminal case? I think that's where he's gonna put his money in, and not in these kind of smaller cases. Then he's gonna file for bankruptcy, and then there won't be no money. So probably these people here could be people that they are also gonna add to these lawsuits. Anyway, he says the following: during the event, Combs instructed plaintiff to join him in Combs' private office. Plaintiff went into the office where the two were alone. Plaintiff assumed Combs wanted to have a discussion about business. However, plaintiff immediately realized Combs was intoxicated and acting strangely. Combs began awkwardly moving closer to plaintiff. As he did so, Combs removed his pants and exposed his genitals to plaintiff. Combs continued to move closer and then grabbed plaintiff's genitals through his pants, squeezing them in a rough and a particular manner. Plaintiff, shocked and disoriented, frozen momentarily, and did not know how to respond to the wildly inappropriate advance from Combs. The situation escalated until another individual, professional athlete A, entered the office and intervened, which ended in Combs' assault of a plaintiff. At this moment, plaintiff escaped from Combs and left the office. After escaping the office, the plaintiff left the party to return home. To help plaintiff document this encounter, plaintiff took a photograph of the Ciroc vodka Combs gave to him at the party. That Combs immediately ultimately assaulted plaintiff. It is shown below.
Wow.
Question is, fingerprints, my man. Are there fingerprints on here? So those are the couple of things. I mean, I've read through the documents, and I mean, these, a lot of times they say reality is always crazier than fiction. If this really happened, it's a crazy story. So I cannot say it never happened, but like you said before, these are stories that when people will come out of the woodworks and try to come with a story to get a payday. And we will cover in the future also a video of someone who tried a insurance fraud by hitting a car. There are people out here that do these things. That's something we always need to keep into consideration. The question is, of course, these allegations, can they be proven or can they not? You can write a crazy story. I mean, I've read also another crazy story from another plaintiff who her story is even crazier than this one. I don't know if you've read it, RJ. It's about the woman who allegedly was a friend of Diddy called Diddy to introduce to show her that he knows him.
And a friend of Diddy called Diddy
to show kind of to show him, hey, I'm friends with bragging, yeah. And then she said she was not impressed because Diddy was had, let's say, these accusations of the Tupac story. He didn't like it, and he said something to her. At a certain point later, at a certain moment in time, he invited her to his apartment. That this is, and I'm paraphrasing the story, so this is what I can remember what I read. He invited her to the apartment. He gave her a drink. She started feeling a bit woozy. Some way, somehow, Diddy came in to the apartment. Diddy had intercourse with her and the guy as well. Someone no, not the guy. The his entourage. After that, the oh my god. Yes. So after that, she woke up from that the state she was in. Diddy was in the balcony sitting and talking to the other person. Some way, somehow, there was a shooting between Diddy and the bodyguard because she ran away during that shooting, altercation or something like that. That she ran away, took the steps. She was saved by by the neighbor of the man, the owner of the house. They called the police, and some way, somehow, there was an altercation within the group. So I think maybe what she's alleging is that the bodyguard fought Diddy and they were knuckling up. RJ, it's crazy. The whole story, and then the police came. So listen to this one. The police came. She told the story about being raped, and then the police told her to go home. But she stayed at the neighbor's home, slept there, and in the morning she went back to the house.
The neighbor of Diddy?
No, the neighbor of the guy who he invited her to the house and where she was drugged and raped.